Hey guys, so I wanted to show you a bit of a do-it-yourself project this go around. I've noticed a lot of bloggers and video makers and stuff are now getting into some real high-tech video image stabilization type equipment, and you know, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm already using it on some of my drones with the brushless gimbals, but a lot more people are now using them on handheld cameras and even DSLRs. So I researched it, looked into it a little bit, and I noticed that some of these, well, most of these type of devices are quite expensive. A lot of the handheld gimbals designed for action cameras and DSLRs are in the you know, $300 to $400 range. Some of the DSLR ones are even in the you know, $1,000 to $2,000 range. So I got to thinking, you know, how could I make one of these things on a budget? Because quite frankly, I don't want to spend that kind of money on you know, that type of equipment, especially right now, as this is kind of just a hobby for me. So looking for a way to do it on a budget, and I looked around the house and I noticed I had an extra brushless gimbal that I was using for one of my quadcopters, and I thought, I could probably use this to build my own handheld gimbal. And this is what I came up with, using parts from a hardware store and my cheap Chinese gimbal. So just give you a look here. Basically used a push button switch to activate it. We'll go into some details on how I built this and some of the parts I used, but it's actually turned out quite well. So I'll list all the parts that you need down in the description below, and you can go out and build one of these pretty cheap, and it works really well. This is what you're going to need. PVC Offset Coupling, 1 1/4 inches. A PVC Female Adapter, also 1 1/4 inches. You can see one part is threaded on the inside. An unthreaded meter hub, 1 1/4 inches. You're going to need a length of ABS pipe, black ABS pipe, 1 1/4 inches. Need a PVC orange test cap, 1 1/4 inches. And 4 nylon bolts and washers in 1/4 inch. That's okay to get these a little long, we can always cut them afterwards. These are all available from your local hardware store, and they're quite cheap and quite available too. On the electronics side of things, what you're going to need, the first thing you're going to need is an 8AA battery holder. Make sure to get the long one, because the idea is it's going to fit into this piece of ABS pipe. So make sure to get the one that's long, that holds 8 AA batteries, not the one that's 4 back to back, because it will not fit in this piece of pipe. You'll also want a small, let's see if we can get that in, there we go, small electrical switch, push button switch. You can get one that either turns on and off as you push pressure on it, or you can get one that stays on when you press it and turns off when you press it again. You're also going to want a it's called a servo tester. You can get this off of eBay or most Chinese electronics shops for like a couple of bucks. Plus a servo lead, male to male. Again, available at eBay or I got mine from banggood.com. And of course, you're going to want your brushless gimbal. This one here is a cheap one I got off of eBay. It's pretty generic. They're all over get them all over the internet. This one I paid about $50 or $60 for. Yeah, they're available pretty much any Chinese electronics website. Just make sure you get ones that are like this. They seem to work the best, and you'll find that when you go to use your meter hub, where you're going to mount this, it actually lines up perfectly with the holes on the meter hub. So if you can find this, one or one similar to this, then that's ideal. You're also going to want a few small lengths of shrink tubing, and that's it. That's all you need. I'm going to put a description of all the equipment you need on the description below down here. Is you want to take the offset coupling, and what I did was I drilled a little hole here, and that's going to be for my on-off switch. Here. Now I had to recess it a little bit because I couldn't get it in all the way, so I had to do a little bit of a recess there with my Dremel, but that wasn't too difficult to do. It took a couple of minutes maybe. After you've drilled the hole, go ahead and attach your female adapter to the offset. The reason I like this project so much is everything just kind of fits together like a puzzle. You don't have to do any gluing or a whole lot of welding or soldering or anything like that. Okay. Actually, before you do that, it's probably best to install the switch first. So you want to take the little nut off the switch, get your pliers in there, and before I go forward on that, I've basically put that switch on the negative lead of the battery pack. You can see that there, just to create the interruption in the circuit on the black lead. You could pretty much do it anywhere on the red lead or the black lead, but I chose the black lead. All right, so and then fish that positive wire through there. Okay. So now we've got, you can see that's kind of our activation switch there. Okay. Now what you want to do is, this is a piece of ABS pipe that's going to house the battery pack. Now, as you can see from, this is normally how thick, I don't know if you can see that, that's normally how thick the ABS pipe is, right? And with that thickness, it will not house the battery. So this is the most painstaking part of the project. To take a manual file, I basically had to file out the piece of ABS pipe until it was narrow enough to house that battery pack. And it's still a really tight fit. I have to give it a bit of assistance to get in there, but we got the battery pack in there, and it's as simple as just connecting it to the offset coupling, which is pretty easy. And then you're going to want to take that end cap, and if you want, you can paint that black or gray just to match, but I haven't yet. Let's pop it on the bottom. Easy as that. Right, so you got your battery pack plus your switch. All set to go. Alright, so put that aside for now. And we're going to work on the top part of this. Alright, like I said, this is the unthreaded meter hub. And this is the part that's going to hold the gimbal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the gimbal, feed the positive and negative wires through. It's coming through there. See that? Alright. So just lay that down for a bit. And take your nylon nuts here. And we're going to secure the gimbal onto the meter hub. Now if you want, you can trim these off. I probably will, just to make it look a little neater. Alright, and there you go. It's pretty securely on there. I've left the dampeners. These are the dampeners. You can take those off. You don't really need them. I was looking for some way to replace those with spacers, but I didn't get a chance to purchase any. But it won't hurt to keep the dampeners on there. So. Alright, so we're almost ready to connect the battery pack and switch to the main part of the gimbal. First, what you want to do is, these are the two power leads coming from the switch and from the battery pack. You want to feed them through the female adapter, PVC Female Adapter. Okay. And just attach it. Alright. Okay. Now at this point, you also want to pass it through another chunk of ABS. Just like that. Okay. And now we're at the point where we can actually hook the power leads to the gimbal leads, which is dirt simple. I'm just going to be using a couple of pieces of shrink tubing. I'm not going to bother soldering it because it's going to be within this protective handle here, and it's not going to be under any pressure, and I can't solder, so I don't solder very well. So I'm just going to be splicing them together and putting them in heat tubing, shrink tubing. So just to show you, press the button and we got power. Of course there's no weight on the gimbal, so it's going to go a little crazy because it's not balanced properly. But all that's left to do is tuck in your wires. All set. Okay, so that's basically it. Just one more thing to do. we've still got this servo tester here, and we're going to plug that in the back of the servo. If you can see that, just focus out on that. There are a bunch of little connectors here. These are for the servo control. Plug it into the first one, and I'm going to throw a camera in here and we'll give it a try. Done. And here it is. I've put a camera in it. I've got my my Get 2 camera, and we'll give the trigger a pull. Keeps it absolutely rock still. And with the servo controller, the servo tester, you can actually control the up and down motions with the camera, which is important because if you got it down like that, you want to film up, right? If you're holding it like that. Now this handheld gimbal works really well with cameras with built-in image stabilization as well, which the Get 2 has. So we'll give it a try in a number of different situations. I'm going to ride my bike with it and go for a walk, maybe chase after the kids, and you can see how well it really keeps that image rock solid. There you go. Easy to build, cheap to make. Parts are easily found in hardware stores and on eBay. You can't go wrong. And when you pair it with a a decent sports action camera, it's like you're floating on air. So if you like this little project, please subscribe to my channel. I may have more in the future. Yeah, give it a try.